Hi everybody, today I am restocking our oatmeal milk and honey soaps. These are a exact same recipe as our oatmeal milk and honey bears, but I put them in an oval shape soap. I have so many customers that purchased the bears that were like, can I have a whole size bar of this please? So I went ahead and did that. So I use oatmeal milk and honey fragrance from Nature's Garden. I just use regular honey, and in this container it's not broccoli soup, it's gluten-free ground oatmeal because I'm gluten-free. Um, so I make that ahead of time, and I get my base, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I get my soap base from Brambleberry. I buy it in 25-pound blocks, and so you see I just cut some ends off of it, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut them into little bits. I'd like to buy the 25-pound blocks because A, it saves me money, and it just makes more sense than buying little bits at a time because I go through a lot of this, especially with my bear soaps. When I make the bear soaps, I typically make about 50 pounds at a time, and it usually sells out in a couple months at the most. So anyway, here I am cutting them up into little pieces. It makes it melt easier and has less clumping. And so I'm just going to go ahead and speed this part up because everybody gets the point of cutting it into little pieces. So they melt so much easier if you cut them into pieces, and I would typically I weighed, this is 30 ounces, and so I microwaved this because I've done this 1,000 times for about 3 minutes or less. Okay, so I went ahead and I melted this. I did the melting about 3 minutes, and you can still see that there are some clumps in there. And I just know from experience that if you just keep stirring that, let it sit a little bit, and then stir it up some more, those clumps will melt because the rest of the soap base is hot enough to melt it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to melt those little clumps and give it a good stir. And now it's time to add the good stuff to it. So first I'm getting my little holder so I don't make a mess all over. So here's the honey. It's just normal honey. I have a napkin on it because it's all sticky. So just probably about not even a half a teaspoon of honey for this 30 ounces. I went ahead and I had to melt my honey because it got really thick because it's still cold here in Washington. I don't know why. I wish it would become spring like it's supposed to be. All right, so now we're adding, I don't know, I would say probably about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of the ground oatmeal. That's really your preference. And this is ground cinnamon, and I use just a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. I have been doing this recipe for years, and if you do just a tiny, tiny bit, I would say not even, just a little pinch of it, because cinnamon can be a skin irritant, so you don't want to add too much to it. But I've been working with this recipe since 2013, and just a pinch, it doesn't hurt anything. It makes a nice little speckled look in my soap, and that's pretty much all it does. I just like the look of it. And it adds just a touch of smell, I think, to it, but not really that much. But it's okay. So this is going to have to sit a little bit and get thick less. Okay, so I am back. It's been sitting for about 20 minutes. It's still a little bit runny for my taste, but it's just about there. The reason why I wait and try to have a thick trace is because that way when you have stuff like oatmeal in it, it will, if it's runny, it will sink to the bottom. So you want to go ahead and make sure that it's thick enough to where it suspends anything that is in it that's like chunky. Say you put jojoba beads in it or something. You would want those to not just all go down to the bottom. So that's why I wait until it's thick enough. So here's the oval mold. I put it on the cookie sheet so I can easily move it. And my camera's being wonky. So I don't understand why. I have a really good view of my hand. But so I'm spraying the mold first with alcohol, and then I am spraying the soap because there's bubbles on it. And I think that I could have probably zoomed in a little bit better on this so you could see. Hopefully it will show up good when I stop pouring. And it looks a little dark to me. I'm still working on figuring out this video lighting stuff. I think I needed my extra light. I didn't do it this time. So I apologize for that. So now I have sprayed all the bubbles off the top. If you wait too long to spray, the bubbles will stay there. Okay, so now we're just going to sit and wait probably about half hour to an hour for these to harden up, and then they will be ready. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I didn't get a chance to record the finished product on video, but here is what it looks like when it's all done. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all have a great day.